Oh man, was the microphone not on that whole time? All right, let's pretend that it did happen. Let's do it all over again. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Find Me in Seattle. I'm on this like sky deck. It's not really a sky deck, it's not a rooftop. I'm probably like 5 stories up, but this is one of my favorite secret spots in the entire city. And I don't think a lot of people really know about this. And so before we start the episode, you gotta know about where I am and how I got here. So let's rewind it real quick. So the coffee shop that I'm starting the morning at is called Fonte. They've got a few locations in downtown Seattle, and it's in this Rainier Square building. This is a really fancy building, you guys. There is an Equinox in here, and there's this brand new like indoor pickleball club thing that's in here that looks really nice. But this coffee shop is hidden. You gotta go up the escalator, and it's in this beautiful spot. They also have like a dining service restaurant next to it. So after going up the escalator, I'm gonna grab some coffee here. Right here, but where we're gonna go is up these stairs, which is kind of on the opposite side of the camera. So up here, like on this terrace spot, there's all this seating, and I think it's one of the most secret spots in the entire city. There's just nobody here. When it is sunny and it's nice like a day like today, there's just really not many better places. You're sitting above the city. I'm looking right here at 5th Avenue Theater. It's just nice and peaceful and empty. And you're kind of like sitting high up in the city, surrounded by buildings all the way around. It's just like a really cool place. So let's get to the topic at hand. So one of the things that most amuses me here about this, what are we calling this, a deck or a patio? I don't know. Well, I found out it's called the terrace. But one of the things that amuses me about being up here is this building. I don't have a clue what it is, what it's about, what's in here. Maybe I'll do the research after that. But what my wife and I call this is the zombie apocalypse building. Because if you look all the way up, right, the actual building and everything is right up here, but it has this like crazy curved base, and obviously there's like a normal entrance, but when you're looking at this place from afar, it's like, oh, this is the only spot where the zombies are not going to be able to climb up because it's curved, facing outwards, and it's a smooth surface. There are like these little like grapple things that maybe assume is like a security feature that they could grab onto, but I just think it's like such a cool building. I don't know anything about it, but just sitting here and looking up at it, I think is very cool. And just in general, being up here, like there are just beautiful places to look at. So like not only is the space really cool, but like you've got these buildings over here with, I've always wondered what this triangle is. Down on this side, there's like faces on these buildings over here. Obviously you have 5th Avenue Theater, and then the building Rainier Square is like just super cool in its own right. So this week I was editing my previous video, and I started that video talking about the dental surgery that I had. It's been a few weeks since then, and it's still pain. My tooth is missing here. So I had this gap in my mouth. And it was really funny because I was having issues with it about a week after, and I had to go back and just check on the dentist to make sure everything was fine. There was no like infection or anything. And he was like, hey, you weren't supposed to be drinking with a straw. Did you drink with a straw? And I was thinking back to the time, and I knew on Saturday that I did start drinking with a straw when I was playing golf, but then I like stopped myself. But then I go and I'm editing this video, and while I'm editing the video, I'm looking at the coffee that I'm drinking in the morning. This was the day after the surgery, and I drank that entire coffee with a straw, and I just don't think I really read the instructions, and I knew at that point that I was not supposed to be drinking with a straw. And so, yeah, we had that. The dentist like, were you drinking with a straw? I was like, oh yeah, there was this brief moment I stopped myself, and then I was like, oh, before I even read the instructions, I spent a whole morning drinking with a straw. And so I was editing that video, and it was one of those things like, oh no, I am saying that I just had dental surgery the day before and I have a straw. So I'm still on no straw. I think I'm gonna be on no straw like for a while. So iced coffee season seems to be here with how warm it is. And yeah, everywhere it's no lid. I've never realized how much I appreciate those coffee cups that have the lids with the suckers. But yeah, no straw life for me for a while. Right down here, there's this new matcha shop that's supposed to open up. I know they have a location in Tacoma, but this place is going to be so popular, I think. And I just think that space is so cool and unique, and I got high expectations. All right, so let's do the little weekly update here. what's been going on in my life in the past week. So this is the Fairmont Olympic right behind me. Incredibly nice hotel. Got a beautiful restaurant in there. And I've heard that they've got a garden at the top, which is pretty cool. So this week's been crazy. It was the first time that my wife got on a plane and left the city and stayed out of the house for a significant amount of time. So, and for those of you who might not know, I have a just under 1-year-old baby daughter. And so this is the first time any of us has left overnight or for an extended period of time. She went for a work trip and she was gone from Tuesday until Friday. And it's been relatively smooth for the most part. I feel like I got a little lucky. My daughter was sick last week, and so I knew that the only thing that was going to be a challenge was if she was sick, and she wasn't sick. So for the most part, it's been pretty smooth. And she's in daycare, so I still have plenty of the day free to get all my work done and everything. But then just what happens is I pick her up, and then the evening is on me. Dinner time, bath time, sleep time, all that. Any middle of the night wake ups, which has happened pretty much every single night this week, which those are usually my responsibility anyway, so that's not a big problem. But the big spot that I have to fill in is my wife usually does the wake up morning routine, because she's a little better at waking up than I am, and I do the evening routines. And so while she's gone, I'm doing both the morning and the evening routine. And my daughter, on 3 of the mornings, decide to wake up at least an hour early. And so after putting her to bed, it's like get all the chores done, get everything ready, prepare her food and meals and clothes and everything for the next day, prepare my work stuff for the next day. So it's all like prepared, ready to go by the door, so I can just pick her up when we're ready to go, put everything in the car and get out of there. And so early mornings, late nights, lots to do. So when I was driving my wife to the airport, I was telling her, it's like, what used to happen even before we had kids is when she would go on a work trip, I would spend the first night looking over all the streaming apps and saving shows that I wanted to watch, movies I wanted to watch, and be like, great, these are the things I'm going to watch this week. And then maybe the second day, I would get caught up in something, and maybe I'd start a show, maybe I wouldn't. And by the time she got back at the end of the week, every single time, like I barely end up watching much TV, end up watching like live sports and working or doing videos. And I create this giant queue of content that are things that I want to watch that my wife's not interested in. It's the perfect time to watch it, and then I don't watch it at all. And that happened completely this time. And so the week work-wise has been very interesting, because I knew that if my kid gets sick or I get a call and I gotta go pick her up, I had to limit my schedule. So the week has been relatively calm and smooth. I didn't overburden myself. Pretty much my goals were the same client videos that I have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I got to make this video, of course. And so those are always the must-dos. And I even got one short form video out, because you may or may not have seen the short. It was really funny that last week I posted this get early to Pike Place Market video. And I've been incorporating that back into my routine, because I'm down in the city so much in the morning, and I get coffee every morning somewhere. And because of that, I just happened to be here. When I opened up my phone after dropping my daughter off, I saw this like news announcement. I had this notification that was like, oh, Pike Place Market is closing off the street. And that's been this huge controversy, this huge talking point for years at Pike Place Market. And it was like, oh, I should just go over there and make like a little video about that. And so I got a short video out. I have not been very good at making those. My focus kind of is like, I really want to focus on these long form videos, but the short form are still very important. That's pretty much my entire business. And it was cool just to, once again, I haven't done it in a while, where it was like, oh, spontaneous, see something, go film it, publish it, like all within an hour. That's not usually how I operate on Instagram and TikTok anymore. And it was just like really cool to do. And the video obviously has been successful because it came out so quickly. I think I was like one of the first people outside of like the major news organizations to publish that. All right, so that is the highlights of the week segment. Moving on. Well, the secret's out. 2 people are up here now, so I guess everyone knows about it. I'm just kidding. But that is what's nice, is I've been up here for about an hour, and I've seen a total of 4 people, and that's one of the best parts about this secret spot. But I will say, this is not a quiet place. I have no clue what the microphone's gonna sound like, but there is a lot of traffic noise coming from both streets down here. Plus, it's downtown. Plenty of sirens, lots of noise being made. The buildings are also a little loud, so don't come up here if you're like, you want, peace and quiet. It's kind of like impossible to find in the city, but it's relatively calm, which is really nice up here. And they did a great job designing. So what everyone's gonna say is, yeah, Connor, but it's raining and it's cold for most of the year. You're only gonna be able to use this for like 3 months. That is true, but the space is very cool and very unique. There are like a bunch of seating areas to come and sit and hang out. So if you want to try Fonte coffee or you like it, check out these spots. These are pretty interesting. I'm a few minutes early. Delicatus doesn't open until 11 and it's 10:50. So let me tell you a little bit about Symphony Station here because it is a bit of a funny story. So we're on 2nd Avenue and University. Symphony Station used to be called University Station, and that made sense because this location, I believe, was the original location of the University of Washington. But that was when the light rail stopped at downtown Seattle and didn't continue to Capitol Hill into the University of Washington. So here's the problem. Now we have 3 university stops. So there was a ton of confusion with people coming from the airport, getting off on University Station, just assuming that the University of Washington was here, walking out to downtown Seattle. Very confused. You're in the wrong place. So for a couple years, we've had 3 stations that were university with like very similar names. And so now they've changed the name to Symphony Station, which makes sense because of Benaroya Hall being right here. But it took them a long time to make the change. And the reason being is just the millions of dollars that it would take to change all of the signage and navigation for changing the name of the one station. You think about all the trains, all of the maps, the recording that's saying getting off on this station. All those little details need to be updated and changed. And so as they open up the North Gate light rail stations, they went and made the change because I believe they were adding those ones. So if you're adding those ones, you might as well go and change these ones. So now we have Symphony Station, which I think is a great name actually, and kind of cool here. You can hear the noise. They're playing music here in this courtyard. Courtyard outside of Delicatus is absolutely beautiful. For lunchtime, we're gonna go a couple blocks south. We're going to go to 2nd and University. I don't know what this building is, but it's fairly new. It's only been open for a couple years, but they just have this open courtyard patio for lunch. What is across the street from this location is right behind me. It's called Delicatus. They're a sandwich shop that's been around for years here in downtown Seattle. Definitely not a place that's like celebrated by the foodie community, but very well known by any of the people working around here. Just excellent sandwich shop. Sandwich shops are very weird businesses nowadays because you just like don't see them very much. There are not many places to get a sandwich in downtown Seattle, and so if you got craving for a sandwich, this is your spot. I'll take the mud honey, please. Sandwich required. Yeah, about as big as my face, which is good. It's the mud honey. Costs $15. One of the things that I love about them are the quotes that are up on the wall. But every time I walk in there, they're just like fun and cheery and good things to share. So now that we got the food, we're just going directly across the street to this building. I couldn't remember the name, but maybe I should. It is just called 2nd and U. Actually, is that 2 and U? Maybe it's called 2 and U. And if you turn right here, these steps, walk up the ramp, there's all this retail in here. And this has been empty for a few years now. It's kind of surprising that no one's moved in here, but I actually think this might be a complicated spot because you are like off of the street, so you don't have the exposure. Then down here is the Ethan Store restaurant. Victor Tavern is down there, and then some extra seating. But we're here, sitting in this little courtyard, and so they have all these planters, little benches and seats. This is called the Lookout. So when it comes to a lookout, this is the nice little part about it. So you come all the way to the corner here. You do. You've got a nice little view out there to Pier 55. This is looking down on 1st and Seneca. So we're just going to take a seat over here. And once again, hidden spot, nobody here. It's 11 o'clock, so it's a little early. I'm not sure if people come and eat their lunch here. You got your Delicatus sandwich, beautiful view, nice sunny day. This thing is messy. All right, though. I can live with this. I'd say, I feel like it's a little small for a $15 sandwich, but it does look very good. So at the last deck, I was talking about the upcoming matcha place down below that I think is going to be really cool. But also, down here is a Reuben's Brew, and it goes like half a block up, and I think they're building all this outdoor seating and outdoor patio. That also has a ton of potential right here on First and Seneca. That's gonna be really nice. And that's why these are some of my secret spots to have coffee and have lunch in downtown Seattle, because just nice to get a little further away from the people or the traffic, or if you want to come in cool outdoor spaces that you can utilize in downtown Seattle. And I think they're a ton of fun. I hope you get to find them this summer while you're here in Seattle, or if you live here or you work in downtown Seattle. Both these locations are very nice places. If you're waiting for the traffic to die down, or you have a lunch to go, or you're catching up with a friend, like these are just cool free places to hang out and get some fresh air, be outside, a little bit of sun if you're there at the right time, and they're just super cool. Thanks again for joining me here at Find Me in Seattle. I am Connor. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all those fun things. Check out any of the other videos if you want to keep following my stuff, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll find you in Seattle next week.